And welcome back to Facts or Frauds. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, you're subscribed, and ring that bell for notifications so the next time I premiere a video you can be in the live chat with everyone else and leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think. And wouldn't you know it, Justin Everett is still at it with his S.P.C and status correction all over again.
Moor here. This is like trying to I got some lighting, I got some green screen. Hopefully a couple things are on the way.
Yes, we hope a couple things are on the way, because a lamp with no shade on it is not new lighting, and a curtain is not a green screen. Just so you know, Justin.
So the first thing I want to do is I wanted to talk about a couple books that I just got. So these books right here, these books I literally just got about a week ago after I got off work. These are great books to have. I'm not going to talk. The main reason why I get on here is talking about status correction and correcting your stats. That's the main reason why I'm on here. I am trying. I do have the lighting up. It looks a little better. You can actually see me now.
Yes, we can actually see you now. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, Justin. I really don't. But speaking of books, I found a few that you might be interested in. How about this one? Right up your alley, isn't it, Justin? Sounds about right. How about this one? Yes, that's a perfect book for you. And this one. I think I got them all, Justin. Just for you.
There's another book, Free Yourself from Legal Tyranny. This is a good book. It's about 100 pages, about 60 pages. Let's see here, 65 pages. So it's about 65 pages. This book is written by a man who obviously knew about what was going on. I'm trying to find the author.
Words.
It's about nationallibertyalliance.org. This really talks about a lot of stuff in here about your birth certificate. So, talks about what your birth certificate really is, how you're the beneficiary to the name. That's in all caps.
You are an idiot.
This is a great book. If you're just starting out, if you just start to read, beginning on your journey with this stuff, this is a book right here you definitely want to go grab. Definitely a good book. You want to grab this. This is a great book.
Really? What could be more interesting than this?
So, status correction. Right? Status correction. Or secure party creditor. Or us Moors, we call it status correction. Okay? So I belong to a Moor Science Temple. You can't just file a UCC 1. So whoever's out there saying that has not studied enough and isn't knowledgeable enough to speak about the process, because they don't have enough information, and they just know the bare minimum.
All right, let's get somebody who knows what they're talking about on this, because, Justin, all I heard you say was...
What
I'm going to talk about today is secured creditors. What is a secured creditor? How do you get to be a secured creditor?
All right, and just so we don't have Justin questioning everything, what are your credentials, sir?
Certified bankruptcy specialist in Los Angeles, California. I also am a adjunct professor at the University of West Los Angeles.
All right. You sound qualified enough. Let's hear it, sir.
What does it mean to be a secured creditor? It's a very important concept. Whether a creditor is secured is sort of the tail wagging the dog in the bankruptcy world. A secured creditor can and often does ignore the bankruptcy. So when we talk about how do you get to be a secured creditor, I want to tell you in advance that it's very technical. And the attitude of bankruptcy judges is that the creditor has to do it exactly right. There's no, I was close. Having a lien on property gives you such an advantage over everybody else that if you didn't do it right, you didn't create the lien, get it attached to the property correctly, then you're not secured. You're unsecured like everybody else, which means the asset can be sold by the trustee and the money distributed to everybody else, all right?
Yeah. You see, Butthead, I told you. See, this guy's making sense.
So how do you get to be a secured creditor? Well, there's two ways. The first way, generally speaking, is called a voluntary lien. So the debtor, the person that owes the money, voluntarily gives the creditor a lien. And then there are involuntary liens. Involuntary liens are created by law, by the government, by our Congress in Washington, D.C. has created liens, for example, in favor of the IRS. The state of California has created a whole bunch of liens. So there's voluntary and involuntary. So let's talk about voluntary. That's why I like teaching law. I'll tell you, because I'm going to tell you in 2 sentences, basically, how you get a voluntary lien that applies in most cases, and almost all cases, really. At the same time, I could write a 500-page book article on that would flow from these 2 rules I'm going to give you. It's like a tree, there's exception after exception after exception. But the 2 rules I'm going to give you apply almost all the time. So what are they? Rule 1, there has to be a written agreement that describes the collateral. Usually it's called a security agreement, but it's a document. I give you a lien. I agree that if I don't pay that loan back, you can grab my car and sell it and take the proceeds. All right. So there has to be a written agreement with some exceptions that I might mention in a minute. And rule 2, the agreement has to be properly perfected. The creation of the lien has to be properly perfected. That is very complicated. For you lawyers out there, if somebody comes to you and says, I'm going to loan my brother-in-law money, do the paperwork, it's going to be secured by his business, his liquor license, run the other direction. I would personally never take a case like that because there is so much chance that I wouldn't do it exactly right. And if you don't, you're not secured, you're unsecured. All right, so this perfection, what does that mean, perfect a lien? The general idea is that perfection is doing something, almost always filling out a form and recording it somewhere. The idea behind the form and recording it somewhere is to tell the world that there's a lien. give notice so that the next guy who's going to loan money on the same asset can find out whether there's already a lien or not. So there's an agreement that is properly perfected. So let's think of an example. I want to borrow $10,000 from my partner, Matt Resnick. He has a lot of money, you know. So, Matt, can you loan me $10,000? And he says, well, John, what are you going to give me for collateral? I say, you don't trust me, you know, I'll pay you back. No, I want collateral. All right, well, I'll give you my truck. I have a truck worth $10,000. I'll give you my truck as collateral. So he says, all right, do the paperwork. What's the paperwork? We have to have a written agreement, 1 page. I hereby agree that Matt Resnick has a security interest, has a lien on my truck. Here's the identification number, the lien, the VIN number, whatever. He signs it, I sign it. Then we have to properly perfect that. How do you perfect a lien on a vehicle? Well, you do it at the Department of Motor Vehicles. I mean, at least in California. I don't know exactly how you do it anywhere else. So we sign the agreement and we fill out some form and take it to the Department of Motor Vehicles. I've never done that. I don't know. I mean, you buy a car from Toyota, you know, and Toyota does all the paperwork. But one of the things they do is they record something at the Department of Motor Vehicle, and that perfects the lien that you gave them when Toyota Motor Credit agreed to loan you the money to buy the vehicle. All right, what about a house? Matt says, you know, I don't know about that truck. You might hide it or something. Give me a lien. I want a lien on your house. It's the same thing. You need a written agreement. I'll give you a lien on my house, and something has to be recorded. So the way that's done is the form is called a deed of trust, and the deed of trust identifies the property. It says, I give Matt Resnick a lien, and the deed of trust, that's the agreement. I sign it. I've voluntarily given him a lien on my house. That deed of trust is taken to the county recorder's office in Norwalk and recorded. That perfects the lien that I gave him in the deed of trust, in the security agreement, in this case called the deed of trust. What about another common? You go to the bank and you want to get a loan and you say, I'll give you a lien on my accounts receivable. I'll give you a lien on my equipment. I'll give you a lien on my business. You know, well, same thing. There's a document called the security interest. It describes the property, accounts receivable, equipment, furniture, intangibles. I sign it. The borrower signs it. How do you perfect that? It's a form called a UCC1, and that's recorded at the Secretary of State's office in Sacramento.
My many thanks to you, Professor. I appreciate all of your words of wisdom on a secured party creditor. Unlike what Justin was trying to explain, what do you have to say now, Justin?
You know, I'm not going to show my because I show some of it, but it's private. So, green screen in the back though. I have my lighting now. You can see me. I'm getting green screen. I already got green screen. My lighting's right. You can see me now.
Every time I see you, it makes me wish that birth control was retroactive.
It's BS. You know what I'm saying? This stuff is real. It's a matrix. There is a real thing. This government is a corporation. It's a business. Yeah, you have to separate yourself from it. You can still operate in peace until they deter you from otherwise. And the Moor's not a religion, by the way, but people are too stupid to take the time out to figure that out. It's a nationality, not a religion. You can go deeper into it with religion, but you don't have to. You can just correct your status and be done.
Yeah, correct your status and be done. But wait a second. Moor is a nationality, huh? Because every Moorish science temple I've talked to say it's a religion. So what nation, what country is Moor from? Please let me know in the comments.
Yes, sir. It's a non-disclosure you have to sign because obviously there's very bad people out here, and I want to know who I'm dealing with, and I want to make sure that your documents are confidential, protected. My information is protected. What I'm telling you is protected. So there's a certain way that I move. You know what I'm saying?
You can't fix stupid.
And thanks for joining us on Facts or Frauds. Make sure you hit the thumbs up button, you're subscribed, and ring that bell for notifications, and leave a comment in the comment section. Tell me what you think. And many thanks to all of our members. I appreciate each and every one of you. Wanishi. If you'd like to become a member, just hit that join button right next to subscribe. For everyone watching and subscribing now, Wanishi, thank you. I will see you soon.